Spacey, Sims, and we are back with more Code Realized Wintertide Miracles, and we're gonna start Lupin's route today. And I'm still sorry that St. Germain's was short, and we didn't get a normal CG of him, and then do the triangle date thing in a different part, but I guess. It would have only been a 15-minute part, and I don't like doing that, because that's just weird. I mean, if we were doing half-hour parts and that was normal, then yeah, okay, but it seemed too short, so. But I feel bad because poor Saint Germain got a little screwed there, but we're starting Lupin! The end! Oh my god. Not really, I mean, anyway. Code Realize. A terrorist plot that engulfed the entire world, orchestrated by scientific genius Isaac Beckford, the modern Prometheus. Through the lunatic act of rendering himself a pseudo-deity, thus manipulating humanity to do his bidding, Beckford sought to accelerate the advance of civilization by instigating an endless state of world war. Okay, see, this one's slightly different. I feel like a lot of the other ones were worded exactly the same. The linchpin of this horrific plan was me, Isaac's daughter, Spacey. Embedded in my chest, blossoming like some terrible flower, was the precursor to the Philosopher's Stone, the Horologium. Beating in perpetuity, it acted as an artificial heart, but it was also a curse, riddling my body with deadly poison. And yet, my destiny to live as a monster, forever unable to touch or be touched by another living soul. Slowly but surely, it all began to change the night I met a certain gentleman thief. Following that fateful night, both the search for my father and to discover the reason I was born, I journeyed to the city of Steel London, where I met many a dear friend. Arsène Lupin, magnificent gentleman thief. Impy Barbicane, a brilliant engineer in pursuit of his dreams. Victor Frankenstein, an alchemist haunted by his past. Saint Germain, a nobleman as mysterious as he was elegant. Abraham Van Helsing, a war hero known as the human weapon. In meeting them, and in living with them, I learned that I was more than capable of love, and most certainly not a doll as I had once believed. I learned that I could feel warmth. I learned that I was no monster. It was through them, I think, that I was able to save my brother. My little brother who yearned for love and suffered dearly in search of it. It was through them I was able to confront him, a scientist who met a pitiful fate, driven mad by his quest for love lost. My father. In the end, he lost both his mad ideals and his life. I've since returned to my family home in Wales and live with my brother Finis. To be fair, your father lost his life a while ago. He was a brain in a computer, so it wasn't really him, but I'm just saying. Sometimes my friends come to visit, and occasionally I visit them, but most of my days are spent in tremendous peace and quiet with my brother. We've been back in Wales for some time now, and just as I began to fall into the rhythms of this calm new lifestyle, the seasons began to turn almost before I realized, and the crisp bite of winter was in the air. As we enter December, our breath is visible as puffs of white, and the wind can feel cold enough to freeze. This is definitely vastly different. I mean, it's the same, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's totally worded different. Winter in Wales is quiet and somehow lonely, but I know the city I hold so dear couldn't care less about the cold. I'm sure it's as vibrant as always. In fact, I have no doubt this winter the Steel City will be even livelier than last year. I found out only a few days ago. It seems London has plans to celebrate Christmas with even more pomp than usual, celebrating its successful reconstruction. Queen Victoria herself intends to lead her subjects in decorating the streets with Christmas trees, and the grand Christmas market will be chock-a-block with stalls and stands. Wow. As beautiful as the city is, I can only imagine how glorious it will all seem decorated in a riot of color. It'll be such an eventful day. I can't imagine my friends won't be celebrating, especially Lupin, who definitely loves a good party. I have a feeling something wonderful is going to happen on Christmas. I can't shake the notion, so likewise I can't help but be excited for the fast approaching date. And this is a tale of a certain Christmas day in glorious Wintertide London. Okay, I just gotta say, I can't. We're gonna have to do Lupin's voice through this whole thing. Like, it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna get difficult really fast. Like, oh god. Winter. A night falls early, and morning is slow to arrive. And the sun seems reluctant to spend much time in the sky, and bracing winds chill to the bone. On an icy early winter's night, beneath a moon so starkly cold it feels as though even breath would freeze. It's hard to do his voice for like a long period of time, so anyway. My! Your marvelous welcome does me honor, good sir. Absolutely not good thieving excuse for a merchant. Good sir, absolutely not good thieving excuse for a merchant. The golden necklace you so wrongly possess, ill-gotten through the woeful oppression of innocence, shall hereby be commandeered by magnificent gentleman thief, Arsène Lupin. It's funny that he uses his name and then he goes out in public, but he wears a mask when he's the thief Arsène Lupin, but when he's walking around as Arsène Lupin, he doesn't wear a mask and nobody... Again, is it the Clark Kent phenomenon? He's got the same name! At least Superman had different identities, not walk around like, I'm Clark Kent, I'm gonna steal. And they're like, it's really weird, Clark. Like, that superhero guy's got the same name as you. It's strange. I'm just saying. But nobody can catch him? Wow. My elegant voice echoes through the night. Oh, God. Shattering the winter silence like glass. What do you think what do you fools think you're doing? Apprehend him. Kill him if you must. Upon hearing the merchant's cry, a small army of hired thugs rushes into the room. 10 of them, 20, 30. Bizarrely, the merchant begins to applaud, seemingly pleased by how many of his thugs he managed to summon. I chuckle breezily and spread my hands. I do fucking love Lupin. Goodness me! Apologies. I say commandeer, but I fully intend to pay. Very well then. You deserve every last farthing, good sir merchant. Keep the change. I wave my arm and the thick white smoke instantly engulfs the chamber. What the? Get back! Get back! This is no ordinary smoke! I can't move! And with that, the merchant's small army is wholly incapacitated. Leaving the stunned thugs behind, I kick open a window, grab a roof tile, and sling myself onto the rooftop. I hardly need mention it, but my escape route was planned long in advance. Laughing again, louder this time, I dance off the roof and into the London night. Okay, oh, look at he's so precious. It's kind of fun reading it in his voice because you have to be like a little over dramatic. Right, another magnifique haul. I really do amaze myself. Oh, he's so charming. I love it. Dashing along the top of the narrow wall, leaping from rooftop to rooftop. Leaving the panicked voices calling after me far behind, I fly through the city as though my feet grew wings. But really, fraud after fraud fattening his purse, villains will be villains no matter where the wind takes you. I steal a glance at the necklace tucked safely in my pocket. I had researched it, and the merchant from whom I liberated the bauble had acquired it less than scrupulously. I know the crooked fat cat will report the theft to the Yard. Scotland Yard, a police organization that fights crime day and night to ensure the safety of London. In criminal matters, they work together with soldiers from the army. So I guess you're not in France. And all the other ones he was in France, I'm just saying, right? He wouldn't dare. If the constabulary, oh my god, that's so hard to say anyway, presses him about its provenance, he may very well find himself in prison. That said, it's possible the Yard may mount an investigation of their own accord. My escape caused no small racket. Pish tush. Pish tush. Balderdash. Pish tush. What the hell? Anyway, it's none of my concern. The man brought it on himself. And now, I'll find a likely space to hop down, melt into the crowd, and... Predictable! You grow predictable, Lupin! I know precisely what you're up to. What? Captain Leon, how the hell did you get up here? And just as I was about to jump the gap to the next rooftop, a familiar face rose from beneath the eaves. I hadn't the foggiest where he may have caught wind of my nocturnal daring do. But nevertheless, here I stand before the captain of the Royal Guard and a platoon of his guardsmen. Any number of ploys I might play came to mind, but Lionheart was skilled. He had proven himself a troublesome adversary. I click my tongue and stop cold, scanning for an alternate route, and just as I spot one...
Right then, guardsmen, take aim!
I don't remember the voice we gave Lionheart, but I know it was overdramatic and very, very whatever. Half a heartbeat later, the men waiting at attention had trained their guns on me. Whoa ho! What are you gunning me... Oh, what? You're gunning me down without questioning?
Need you ask? I am Captain Rempart Lionheart, clothed in immense power. I tarry not with common criminals. Meaning he's a shoot first, ask later sort of bloke because talk confuses him? Shh! The captain will hear you. Worry not. These are rubber bullets. They may break bones, but 'tis a trifle. Soon you'll be in custody, so worry not.
Rubber bullet. An ammunition coated in rubber, intended to be non-lethal. Historically, practical use of rubber bullets began in the later half of the 19th century. Worry not. You've yet to utter a single word that doesn't worry me. Curses. 10 guardsmen with rifles aimed straight at my heart. I'd have little problem escaping without as much as a flesh wound if I had been running this job solo. But...
Guardsmen, fire!
I can't scream really loud in his voice, it hurts. Wait, what does he say? Wait, but we're not with him. Spacey! My body moves of its own accord. Rubber bullets may not be fatal, but a direct hit would still do serious damage. Adamant that none would get past me, I sped my cape wide to protect... Huh? Oh, I realized my mistake too late, and immediately regret my actions. I might protect the whole of London from Lionheart's rubber bullets. It would be to no avail. Why? My beautiful star apprentice, always by my side, was no longer by my side. I was like, we're there? What? That makes no sense. Gah. Oh! Oh, he thought we were there. And he's like, I'm going to... Oh, she's not here. Damn it. Oh.
What? We got him? Captain, it's a hit. Lupin seems to have fallen many thieves. Captain? Ahem. Well done. Form a perimeter around the area he fell at once.
Yes, sir.
Lupin captured so easily? Could this be some sort of trap?
Is it Zoutalor? I have no idea. I don't speak French. I don't know what that is. Anyway, a nightfall had been broken by a shrubbery. This is a very nice shrubbery. I like the laurels, especially. You're welcome. Thoroughly tangled within it, I mutter unconsciously to myself. The illustrious gentleman thief committing such a daft blunder in front of Lionheart and his men. A rubber bullet to the chest while distracted by someone who wasn't even there. I had first fallen to topiaries. And this preposterous vision of a pathetic purloiner stuck in a bush. Doubtless one of my top 10 greatest failures. Trying to ignore the prickling pain, I forced my way through the shrubs and regained my feet. A spark of luck amidst the misfortune, since I had fallen so easily, the guards would be on high alert, hackles raised. Indeed, London's finest appear to be moving with utmost caution. If I manage to melt away into the evening throngs, I'll be home free, though a more inelegant escape is hard to imagine. I use my wire to vault over a wrought iron fence, dodging tree branches, and swiftly turn onto another street. You should take your mask off. And though still dazed from the shock of the fallen impact, I break into a run. Is that Merde? I don't know. I don't know when he speaks French. Anyway, how does that happen? If only this had been an isolated mishap. But the fact is, I've been making far too many amateurish blunders of late. Gritting my teeth against the cold, I sprint down the lane to the mansion. And again, they don't know what you look like without your mask on, and they don't know where you stay. I mean, ouch! Ow, 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 ow. Quit it, Victor! This tincture stings like hell! You're the one who demanded efficiency over all else, Lupin. Now hold still. Efficacy over all else, Lupin. Now hold still. No! I'm telling you, that poison is...
The great and mighty master thief laid low by a meek medical man, eh? Real talk, though. You barge in wounded and Victor just happens to be visiting. I'll call that good luck.
And truly, this isn't like you, Lupin. Since when do you come back with flesh wounds? This last job was, I wasn't at my best as all. Victor had a day off from the clinic today. Visiting as any good friend might, he now finds himself wryly tending to my wounds. I came back to the mansion quite exhausted and in not insignificant pain, only to find myself thoroughly manhandled through Victor's medical machinations. I'm being manhandled. Ugh! He's so dramatic, I love it.
Crikey, but did they do a number on you? Looky here, this bruise. I wonder what might happen if I gave it a good jab.
What a dick!
Ow! Ow!
Victor, another casualty for you. While you're at it, do me a favor and check his mental faculties, would you? It's lovely to see you two getting along so well, but no more casualties, please. Sorry, Cece. Looks like you were worried about me, too. Oh, what a cute puppy. He's such a sweet little doggy. I let my body go limp, Cece lapping at my hand. Healing quickly is superior to healing slowly, yes. And I asked for the stinging tincture myself. Stinging, more like burning. It better not be poison. I keep my breathing steady as apply the last of dubious. Unguent? Unguent? Wow. The words in this, like, could you give me... I need glossaries for that shit, not Scotland Yard. Or like rainbow. No, I don't need... I need... Give me dictionaries for the French shit that's in here, okay? And that should do it. Thank goodness you didn't break any bones. Most of it is just skin or brains and back bruises. The pain won't last long. Thanks. You're a lifesaver, Victor. I roll down my sleeves gently, attempting to avoid the cuts and scrapes. Victor and Ibby look fixedly at me, a typical concern read on their faces. In any case, this really just isn't like you, Lupin. You were nearly arrested, a shock in itself, and you came back like this?
I know, right? I might expect this if he tussled with Sholmes, but apparently he ran into Old Man Lionheart.
I'm just not feeling entirely myself. And these things happen, I suppose. Wait a tick! I caught that! You think I would have been thrown in the clink if that make-believe detective were after me? I try to summon a bluster, but I hear the lack of conviction in my voice. It was clear even to me that the excuses and reassurances were falling flat. Not feeling yourself, eh? Other than the scrapes and bruises, I can find nothing else amiss. Of course, it is getting chillier and chillier, and people are starting to catch colds. To catch colds. Catch colds. Not just catch colds. Catch them. That's like extra catching of colds. That's all I'm saying. Any hint of that, Lupin? No. Physically, I'm fine. I don't feel ill or anything.
Well, if you can't point to anything specific, maybe you're just plain old tired. I mean, ever since the incident, you've been hurtling across the Channel of France and back without a moment's rest.
He's right. Sometimes we don't register the repercussions of fatigue until all suddenly crashes down out of the blue. So that's it. I mull the idea over and it makes sense. I realize I had been nodding unconsciously.
But seriously, at this rate, if the yard doesn't nab you, someone else just might. Infamous gentleman thief Arsène Lupin apprehended after slipping and falling. I can see it now.
No way! No way! Right? Anyway, if I ever am caught, God forbid, the very first thing out of my mouth will be a comprehensive list of accomplices.
My, such ironclad bonds of trust we share.
I can't help but grin at this, shrugging my shoulders. Victor and Impy nod and laugh sardonically. At any rate, Adventures are off until you're feeling better. Healing and rest are top priority. Doctor's orders. You're like, no, but I'm a doctor. Nobody takes you seriously, Victor. Oh, guys. No, we love you. He's the doormat of all of. I love Victor. Don't get me wrong. Like I do. I love Victor. Like, but he's like the doormat. You'd be like, don't do this, and you're like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, if Saint Germain was like, if you do, I'll stab you. I believe you. Victor's like, don't do it. I'm a doctor. I know. And you're like, jumps off bridge. Say I'm fine. Oh wait, I'm dead. Never mind. You were right. Like, the fact of the matter is, I can think of nothing more embarrassing than getting nabbed because I pushed myself too hard. And with a single quick nod, I resolved to accept Victor's advice. Accept Victor's advice. 1 week later. Très bien. I think I'm back in fighting shape. I knew très bien. I know that. All the other French words, I don't know. For the first few days of my convalescence, I took it easy, resting as I worked on escape gadgets. Gradually, I began to move my body, transitioning to light exercise with Spacey. With all the time I had on my hands, it seemed a good opportunity to put a theory to the test. Oh, the pan up. You know what, though? Was it Saint Germain that we got the full fucking pan up from the feet and everybody else is like, waist up, pan up? I want the full fucking pan up. I want the pants, the shoes, everything. I need the full outfit. I'm a full outfit kind of girl. I want to see the whole thing. I'm going to be like, are your shoes and pants nice? Because, I mean, if you look like a scrub from the waist down, like, what the fuck? Can't take you seriously. Like, what if you're wearing, like, fucking, like, you know, like, flowered shorts and, like, fucking Crocs or something? I can handle the flowered shorts, you know what I mean? But the Crocs? Like, nah, dude, come on. I'm just saying. I'm not kidding, though. I'm serious. I want to see the whole thing. Don't give me that look. What? What? If this were reversed, and this was a dude playing with checking out the chicks, they'd be, well, okay, they'd just, you wouldn't even see his face. You'd just be seeing tits right now, but whatever. Well, it doesn't feel like my skills have gotten rusty or anything. Warming up at a casual pace, I close my eyes and listen carefully. The faint scent of machine oil wafting from the inner courtyard must mean Impy's tinkering with his machines again. Outside my window, I hear birds. I hear them inside all the time. Judging from the bird song and wing flap distribution, there must be 4 of them. Very good. Perfect. I haven't lost my touch, not even close. In fact, it almost feels as though my senses are sharper than they were before. So, why all the amateur slip-ups lately? I still haven't the foggiest. Oh, sweetie. You were in such motherfucking denial. I haven't the foggiest. Really, motherfucker? Not a clue. That look on his face. Do you see that look on his face? I haven't the foggiest. I totally know why. You know exactly why, because you already said my name. Don't act stupid. You know. Maybe it has something to do with finding myself on the other side of that terrible incident. Maybe I got complacent. My words dissipate into the empty air with nobody to hear them but me. When I think of major turning points in my life, the absolute first thing that comes to mind is, unsurprisingly, the incident. Isaac Beckford's world-spanning terrorist action, what he called Code Realize. I had been aware of it and actively trying to quench it since before I left France. In the end, we were able to prevent the conflagration from expanding beyond the UK's borders. And me, my friends, Spacey. After succeeding my master, it became my only goal. Is it raison d'être? Raison d'être? De tre? D'être? I don't know. Anyway. See, I know raison de something. I can't pronounce the rest of it. So, stop with the French, motherfucker. I'm learning Japanese. Couldn't pronounce Japanese if you threw it in here either, but I'm just saying. And to be perfectly blunt, I can barely pronounce the English when it's in here. Jerk, that's not nice. Anyway. It was the performance of heroic thief Arsène Lupin's life. With such a monumental task achieved, I feel satisfied. Elated, really. And perhaps that's why. My moral code as a thief remains steadfastly unchanged, yet I no longer feel like my old self. I fulfilled my ultimate goal, and in so doing, perhaps lost something of myself. It does make sense. Delusions. You're having, honey, you're in denial. That's the word I was looking for, not delusions. But you're delusional and you're in denial. But it makes perfect sense, and yet, it's not the entire explanation, is it? I feel restless, ill at ease, unable to shake the feeling I've lost something important. Oh god, hold on. This itch in my ear, it's weird. You know when you have an itch in your ear channel, but it's too far, it's not like right in your ear, it's like way deep in your ear, and you're like, ah! It's like in your ear channel, like in between your ear and your throat, and it's like, ah! It's driving me bonkers. Like I literally just want to get a 4-foot stick and stick it in my ear, and then I pop my eardrum out. But you know what I mean? It's in that channel where you're like, I can't itch it. I can't. Ah! Oh gosh, driving me bonkers. I'm sorry. It feels like some force that had been beside me for so long, as something I had taken for granted, was suddenly gone. You're saying you took me for granted? Rude. As if privy to my thoughts, a knock reverberates throughout the house. My heart skips a beat. No, it couldn't be. Wales is on the other side of the country. She can't possibly be here. Yes, she does visit from time to time, but surely not today. Fully cognizant of the fact on a purely logical level, I nevertheless call out her name, hoping against hope for distant possibility. Spacey? I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but anyway. Well, I was quite sure you would be napping, but... Well, I was quite sure you'd be napping, but... There was a part of me that wanted to get Saint Germain, but then I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if it was fucking Van Helsing? And he's like, Spacey! And he's like, do I look like fucking Spacey? You're like, you're just as pretty. Oh. Lupin and Van Helsing. Well, anyway. It would seem you're awake. Forgive my intrusion, Lupin. A slim figure stands in the doorway, though not the one I was expecting. But he is fabulous. It's the lord of the manor himself, the Count Saint Germain. The Count Saint Germain. Is that you, Saint Germain? What? You came back? Indeed I have, but I offer my apologies for failing to send word. I've only just made my entree into London. Had something happened with the shadowy organization Saint Germain seems to work for? Idea? After the Nautilus incident, Saint Germain had been spending less and less time at the mansion. At mansion? We're calling the mansion now? It's got a name. But for whatever reason, he's once again returning to the mansion with frequency. Back when our lives were inextricably enmeshed with the horologium, our personal goals came into conflict at times. But with that affair at an end, there can be no doubt Saint Germain is a trustworthy friend to us all. I brought some lovely leaves back from my sojourn. I thought I might stop in and trouble you for tea and conversation. A party of 2 men may lack that certain feminine je ne sais quoi, but would you care to join me? I can say je ne sais quoi, too. There's certain words I know, and then the rest of them, like, I don't fucking know. But I bet if I heard it, I'd be like, oh. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard je ne sais quoi. I've never seen it spelled out, but, like, it's kind of je ne... Okay, you can figure it out. I mean, I don't know if I've seen it spelled out. Maybe I have. I don't know. Without waiting for my reply, Saint Germain begins pouring black tea. And don't tell me, Victor and company told you I'm not feeling so well. Saint Germain claims some other half-articulated reason for dropping by, but I'm sure he's concerned for me. Grateful for the Count's thoughtful nature, I sit down across from him. I need this CG, by the way. Hey, sorry about this. I appreciate your concern. Tut-tut, not at all. Concern for one's friends is only natural. Although, my, this is a rarity. I can't recall ever having seen your face so lined with worry. It's no grave concern. Victor and Impy worry too much. I'm just feeling a bit under the weather and... Inscrutable as ever, Saint Germain scans my face wordlessly. His thoughts are impossible to read. What? What's wrong? And This is getting uncomfortable. Purposefully avoiding his gaze, I take a sip of the tea. And this cloud over your head, might it have some relation to Miss Spacey? The Count expertly plucks that which had been ailing me from within the depths of my chest, and I act dramatically. Of course, everything you do is dramatic. I'm just saying, hey! You better not tell me you can read people's minds with this whole idea thing. Certainly not. I heard her name on the tip of your tongue moments ago, and this was merely confirmation. That said, I confess I did not expect such a genuine reaction. As Saint Germain managed to poke me right where it hurt, I couldn't think of anything to say. Clearly pulling no punches, he takes another step toward me. I had my suspicions. You feel unwell because your thoughts are always with her, but they throw you off course. So that's it. Makes sense. I couldn't deny it. Looking back, and this is what almost got me caught by that crooked merchant's guards. And just earlier, when I couldn't collect my thoughts. They were always dominated by thoughts of her. Spacey. I know, I always think of me too. Wait. Well, it's only natural that you would miss her so when she left London behind. And that is how essential she was. Even I feel a sadness, as if my house is no longer graced by a delicate, beautiful flower. Well, yeah, true. And you know I can't deny the fact that I miss her. But, it's not something exclusive to her. Van Helsing, Delhi, I miss them too when they left. I mean... There's no need for such consternation. I understand all too well. It was true, though. Even Victor, here in the same city, although quite a distance from Saint Germain's estate. And the only people living here now are myself, Impy, and Saint Germain, master of the manse. And not to forget Cece, but the human occupants number 3. Realizing how drastically my friends and housemates have dwindled in numbers, and the black tea sits bitter in my throat. We had 8 people plus one living here, didn't we? Such lively days they were. Now with the estate so quiet, it does feel a mite strange. Even with the loudest loud of all still in residence. Still, even though I've had to part with friend after friend, parting with Spacey was another matter entirely. When I think of them, the first space in my mind's eye is always hers. Unable to deny that fact to myself has formed a vicious circle, only making it worse. Unable to deny what's really going on with me. As I said earlier, it is exceptionally rare to see you this visibly concerned. At any rate, I do hope you'll find some way to summon up your usual self by the end of December. The end of December? Saying nothing, Saint Germain produces a broadsheet and slides it over to me. Wearing a puzzled expression, I cast my eyes over an ostentatiously presented article on the front page. Yuletide in the Steel City, illuminating the holy night. Commemorating Reconstruction in the wake of the Nautilus incident, the Queen has announced grand Christmas festivities. A citywide festival. How magnanimous of Her Majesty. Indeed, I hear she seeks to outshine the damage done to the city with truly grand, splendidly illuminated festivities. With the entire city united in celebration, I thought we might have one of our own at the mansion. It just wouldn't do for our friends to wind up feeling gloomy on such a festive and holy night. And the corner of my mouth turns up in a dry smile, and the Count's way of being considerate is so very him. I'm sure he visited my room this morning specifically to show me that article. After exchanging a few more pleasantries, Saint Germain eventually takes his leave. Alone now, I absent-mindedly reflect on events of the recent past. A massive blunder I still scarcely believe I committed. Acting so unlike myself, my friends are voicing concern, and I just can't pull myself out of it. At the heart of it all, Spacey, it's because you're no longer by my side. I had to admit it to myself. Ever since Spacey left our merry band and returned to Wales, I haven't been able to stop thinking about her, and that's led to countless little mistakes that keep adding up. To borrow Victor's turn of phrase, these must be the repercussions of my fatigue. Pathetic. How many times have I heard, you don't realize the true worth of something until it's gone? What worth indeed? Without her here, I feel as though I've completely lost sight of who I am. I suppose that I had taken being with Spacey for granted, a matter of course. Immediately following this realization, bitter regret burns in the pit of my stomach. I think back to our parting. I'm considering going back home to Wales to live with Finnis. It was shortly after we succeeded in preventing Isaac Beckford's heinous terrorist attack. But from Spacey and Finnis's perspective, they had only just lost their father. She delivered this news to the entire crew with Finnis by her side. I suspected such a day might eventually come. Our gang formed organically, comrades united by shared objectives. And some of us achieved those objectives and some did not. And still others among us found their objectives changed entirely. Though we all had personal goals, once the most pressing issue had been quelled, our relationships did not remain the same. In that milieu, Spacey's decision to return to her family home with her only brother seemed natural enough. Even if all of us wished the day had not come quite so soon. And when the day of her departure arrived, I expended my every ounce of will to keep myself from stopping her. If a happy life with her family is what she truly desires, who am I to stop her? And the train carrying Spacey! Shh! Shh! Spacey! Receded gradually into the distance, and the call of its steam whistle grew faint, and then silence. Don't fuck me up by throwing her name in. It's Spacey! Shh! We're always Spacey. And yet, there I remained. I don't know how long I stood staring at the train tracks, stretching as far as the eye could see. Sorry. If only I had chosen different words that day. If only I'd been able to toss aside my vanity, my stubbornness, my pride, and simply yelled out, "Don't go!" Spacey may very well have stayed here in the mansion, her days spent happily with friends. And she would have been right beside me. I can just see her, laughing, so close our hands could touch. Could such a future have come to pass? Empty, meaningless fantasies of futures that might have been passed through my mind, one after the other. Loneliness. No. And that single word couldn't begin to describe the weight, the choking heat of what I was feeling. What the hell is wrong with me? The great Arsène Lupin, grandest thief in the world, reduced to this. Aw, that's what love does to you, buddy. I fell flat on my bed, releasing an inarticulate groan. It's not as though I'll never see her again. She still comes to visit London from time to time. And Wales may be quite a distance, but far from an insurmountable one. The skies were unusually clear, and making the heavens seem even more vast than usual. At the far corners of my vision, the sun glints brightly in the stark winter sky. I wonder what Spacey is doing right now. I think we're about to find out. And there's absolutely no point in just brooding on this. This is not me. And now that I finally understand what the problem is, there are any number of ways I can tackle the issue. Paying an unexpected visit probably wouldn't be the best idea. So first... Now, how to enact this plan I've concocted? I sit at my desk ruminating. I've seen this CG before. Fucking... I can't figure out how to write a letter. Oh, I love it. And dear Miss Spacey, I shall be arriving in Wales shortly to claim your winsome smile. Sincerely, Arsène Lupin, gentleman thief. Perfect! Now to gather intel, secure my entree and exit routes. Wait, what? Did I just write an intention to burgle notice? I love that. I crumble up and toss away the sheet of letter paper on which I instinctively written one of my typical dramatic notices. Scratching my head, I stare blankly at a new sheet of stationery, equally as blank. We'd exchanged letters before, though not with any particular frequency. But today, for some reason, the words are refusing to flow. Blast! I'm a complete blank. Who knew normal letters were so damnably hard? I I can bang out one of my theatrical intention to burgle notices with barely half a thought, but when it came down to the writing of this particular missive, it felt like I was dragging my pen hand through molasses. I can't sit here grinding my teeth. I'll just start writing and figure it out as I go along. And so I resolved to write about recent happenings. Things off the top of my head. Oh God, what do we write? What do we, guys? Things off, I want to see what I know what the recent happenings are. I want to know things off the top of his head. I want the random, that's what I want. I definitely don't want to get her discombobulated by writing about my recent woes. So, it might be better to write about how I've been feeling and what I've been thinking about lately instead of current events. So what have I been thinking about? Yeah, only Spacey. Now listen, Spacey. Ever since you left the mansion, I haven't been able to think about anyone but you. Your face, your hands, your lips. The foul specter of poison divides us no longer. Nothing stands in our way. Oh my God, is that actually the letter he's gonna send? Please, my beloved, mend the ruptures in my tender heart with the sweet warmth of your lips. That's exactly what her face would look like. Yeah, oh my God, I love it. Look at him blushing. He's like, I love that. He's like, the look on his face is like, I can't send this, oh God. What the hell am I writing? A teenage love confession? I'm not posting this worthless piece of... I crushed the sheet of letter paper into a wad and hurl it violently into the bin. And this is just embarrassing. It was worse than something a certain hack engineer, who shall remain nameless, might write. And what's worse, what if she reads it, gets the wrong idea, and the gulf between us grows even wider? I thought through things again. Rewrote, discarded, rewrote, rinsed, repeated. Gah! I can't think of anything! Once the bin was completely full, I let my head fall on the desk and raised a weak cry. Is there no solution here? I'm trying to write a letter because I want to see her. That's the entire point. Yet I can't even write those simple words. Really, how pathetic can I get? Groaning, my cheek pressed against the surface of the desk, I noticed something lying on its far corner. It was the broadsheet newspaper St. Germain had left earlier. And that's right. The front page article was all about the London... This is it! The answer! Days passed in the blink of an eye. Before I knew it, it was only a few days until Christmas. All throughout the city, gleaming decorations were being hung, and the grand Christmas market had sprung up. Preparations were being made across London for the sumptuous festivities to come, and just as here on this particular high street. And of course, the spirit of Christmas had come upon St. Germain's manse as well.
Hey, Lupin! Grab that bell over there for me, would you? I gotta hang it on this wall. Bonjour, Monsieur Lupin. Are you listening?
Huh? Oh, yeah, decorations. Here.
Hey, thank you. Bellupin decided to bite me. A mistake has been made, sir. Why are you handing me Spacey?
Huh? Oh, sorry, Cece.
Okay, hand me the decoration. Yeah, I'm handing you a dog. God, Lupin, you were really fucking out of it. Isn't this the part where you apologize to me?
Come now, Lupin's just a bit distracted at the moment. More importantly, Lupin, might I trouble you to place the star ornament up top for me? Sure, I've got this. And gentlemen thieves are renowned for being light on their feet. Right. So, this is the one. And... Lupin, look down! Look down! Whoa!
Wow, he's really fucking out of it.
Are you alright? Did you whack your head or... I crawl out from beneath the mountain of ornaments I took a swan dive into when I tripped. I wasn't seriously injured and the pain was negligible. Instead, I was shocked and disbelieved at having tripped like this. I'm sorry, Victor. If I broke anything, I'll mend them later, yeah. I sighed and let my shoulders droop. And Christmas is right around the corner. I've been doing my absolute best to get back to my old self, but what results? This? What results? This. I read that wrong. This is a conundrum. It seems our dapper gentleman thief is having quite a difficult time getting back on his feet. How about proper rest? It seems even your day-to-day is getting harder. At this rate, you could have a serious accident.
I mean, for true, you're sure you weren't actually sick or something?
I'm lovesick, goddammit. I can't help it. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me, physically. I'm well aware of the source of my angst. If I could somehow get past it, everything else would sort itself out, I think. I wasn't certain at all, and my shoulders drooped even lower. Very well then, shall we retire for a break?
I concur. We still have plenty of time, and we can always put Van Helsing and Deli to work when they show up.
Oh, yeah, they're coming back to London soon, right? Yeah, that's their plan, but as for... just then... St. Germain hurriedly takes a step forward before Victor can finish his sentence. My, I almost forgot. Lupin, there's a small favor I hope to ask of you. Victor seemed consternated at having been cut off. I cocked my head quizzically. I'm sorry, buddy. I gotta take my thing off because I'm very, very fucking hot right now. Sorry! I'm tangled up in my phone cord. Like, you better not just poop on my couch. Sorry, I know you were comfy, but I am it's hot as fucking here. Jesus. A favor? Yes, we'd be much obliged if you might run and fetch a few more ingredients for the Christmas party. Isn't that so, Impy?
Oh, right. Just hold the horses and I'll polish the shopping list off in a jiff.
Impy jotted down the list with such speed it was being thrust in my face before he had finished speaking. I glanced over the shopping list of Impys and chuckled sardonically, nodding at him. Righto. Fair enough, I'll pick up what you need. I imagine I'd be more help as an errand boy than blundering around here anyway. And with that, Lupin made his way wearily out of the mansion. Count. Victor fixed St. Germain with a questioning look. Are you positive you don't want to tell Lupin yet? If we'd only told him, he might not be out of sorts. And if he stays this way... In truth, my heart is equally pained. But with things as they are, neither party benefits from this endless dragging on. Well, even if we must suffer being born a bit of a grudge, wouldn't you say the time has come for more drastic measures? So it's like they're trying to hide that we're coming? Like, seriously? Anyway. And the Christmas market lives up to its reputation. I didn't expect quite this many people. Grumbling about what a bother it is to shove through throngs of market-goers, I steadily make my way forward. A vast sea of boisterous humanity surrounds me. I'm making merry. The location where the market proper was being held is especially resplendent. Catching snatches of lively conversation as they ebb and flow all around me, that gives me the impression of a festival grounds. And the thing is, figuring out the real reason St. Germain and Impy sent me on this errand, and child's play. And they just want me to step out of the house and into the city, refresh myself. Oh, you poor naive thing. Oh, crikey, St. Germain is one thing, but Impy? They must have been legitimately worried about me. As I surveyed the scene with a sigh, all manner of people hove into view, young and old alike. The couples arm in arm, rambunctious children watched over by their parents, groups of friends engaging in animated conversation. And it wasn't just people. Every building was decorated, each market tent seemingly a different color. The very air seemed somehow Christmassy. I craned my head in all directions, yet nowhere do I fail to see glittering lights. And the sheer number of bodies crowded together here, it's more or less the perfect training grounds for thievery. Skillfully darting this way and that through gaps in the buzzing crowd is, say, ideal practice for a thief's artful skills of disappearance. Say, maybe if we can find the time, I could have Spacey try her hand at... I sighed heavily and put a deliberate stop on that dead-end train of thought. This is a grave state of affairs. I I realize she's all I can think about. But how long have I been like this? My mood is on a sharply descending curve, in marked contrast to the jolly atmosphere. And no matter how much I pine and daydream about how lovely it would be to stroll through these streets together, I have this sinking feeling such fantasies will never become reality. It's been a while since you visited London. Why not take advantage of the Christmas holidays and come? A full calendar month has passed since I posted that letter. Regrettably, Spacey's response, which had now acquired an almost totemic significance, and never materialized. Oh, they hit it! Oh, cold bastards! Oh, you know she was like, hell yeah, motherfucker, I'm coming for you, bitch! And they were like, oh, it's a letter for Lupin from Spacey. What does it say? Those three sons of bitches were like, she's excited. She wrote a letter. Lupin, I love you so much. I'm coming for you, baby. Let's not tell him. He'll be all shocked. Our friends are assholes, but it's cute. I love it. And neither did reply to the duplicate letter I sent in case of an unforeseen accident. At the very least, I thought she'd post some sort of reply. Even as recently as last month, Spacey's replies came as regularly as you please. Why now, of all times, to suddenly grow silent? Oh, they're trying to break your heart, you poor thing. Oh, don't you just want to wrap your... Oh, I'm gonna hold you, Lupin. It's okay, you poor thing. They're mean. She couldn't possibly have come to dislike me, could she? I shoved the distressing notion aside, forcefully extricating it from my thoughts. While living together amongst our friends, we came to know one another very well. And no, I can say without ego the worst she might possibly harbor for me would be a sort of respect, and not distaste. Assuming that instinct is correct, other possibilities might conceivably include... I met someone! I met a man! Huh? We've already begun to plan our wedding! It would be ever so lovely if you could join us! Because she's sing-song voicing it, something like... None! That couldn't possibly... My helpers prompts more than one alarmed glance from passersby, but the baleful looks hardly register. Not a one among us would deny that Spacey herself comprises our merry gang's finest treasure. And neither can I deny that suitors would line the high street to woo her. Even so, I refuse to believe one of those hypothetical suitors would be able to best me in winning her over. Yet this malignant hypothesis that she had found someone is unshakable. I just wish anyone were in love with me that much that it was like, horrified by the idea that I might have a suitor. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Jesus. If she decides to be with someone else from our crew, I might be able to bear it. Heart-rending though it would be. Heart-rending though it would be. Why did I say heart? Whatever. But canoodling with some random, curlish, low-born lout off the street? I will not stand for... Huh? What? Oh. Is it... What's his face? Anyway, getting into the spirit of the season, Sir Gentleman Thief. Liner. Oh! No, it's Sholmes. Why, I practically ran into you just now. Granted, the city is all a bustle, but aren't we being a mite too careless? If it isn't the amateur sleuth. I turned around to regard the great detective, wearing as always an inscrutably composed smile. And not my favorite face in the world, perhaps. But at the moment, I was glad of anything that would take my mind off the track it was spiraling into. I think. I brushed Sholmes' slightly too genial hand off my shoulder. Yeah, I kind of ship them, I'm just saying. I also want to... That's the triangle date I want to see. Sholmes and Watson, yeah. Sholmes and Lupin, yes! Not Nemo and Alistair. The fuck? Do we have to do that one? We have to do that one. I know we do. We got to do that one to complete the game. But I'm just saying, do we have to? I don't know. What do you want from me anyway? I'm fairly sure I haven't committed any acts today that require summary apprehension. Of course not. I would know. A friendly greeting, nothing more. As it happens, I'm off duty as well. Even if I were paid to bring you down to the yard, I certainly wouldn't do it here or now. And then the rematch will have to wait.
Look, I've got shopping to do, so adieu. Come now. Surely you weren't in that much of a rush. I attempted to summon an officious air and hustle past the man, but it was no use. The not-at-all amateur sleuth was too sharp for his own good. I suspected as much. You weren't yourself today. In fact, I failed to perceive even a blush of your usual confidence and tact. You're completely vulnerable, attention scattered. I've been tailing you for 10 minutes, and I don't think you noticed. So is this how you kill time, or... If you had your wits about you, I never would have been able to get so close. I must admit this was unexpected. Oh, please. What if I was just pretending not to notice you on purpose, huh? And the sulkiness of my own voice surprised me, but Sholmes merely crossed his arms and averted his eyes as if deep in thought. And quickly returning his piercing gaze to mine, the detective made a statement I was certain I had already heard once today. In these profoundly un-Arsène Lupin actions, I surmise the source is Miss Spacey, the young lady, correct? First Saint Germain, now him. Since when did I start becoming so easy to read? How did you arrive at that conclusion then? Your world-famous deduction? As I said, I've been tailing you, yes? And observing. All your actions seem to center around thinking about someone else. And the rest, a simple process of elimination. Put simply... Fine. You don't need to spell it out. Sholmes was aware of my teacher-student relationship with Spacey, so it was no great logical leap for him to make. But still, being told precisely what my problem was by yet another person only underlined my restlessness further. I was doing so well. I must say, I haven't a wealth of knowledge about her current situation and have no intention of prying, but this lack of spirit is beginning to discourage even me. If you'd permit me, I may be willing to part with some wisdom. No, and this isn't a case I can borrow the great detective's skill to solve. I just haven't been in touch with her is all. I'm assuming this is Watson. Hey, there you are! I've been looking everywhere. Lanky bastard wandering off to Lord knows where. Can we just get what we came for and head back to the office already? I told you we were doing our spring cleaning early. A voice called out from afar, effectively bringing the conversation to a close. It was a tall man I didn't recognize, waving his arms from some distance away. You're being summoned, Sholmes. A friend of yours? They can't even show him? They can't even give you a Watson? Like, am I... Indeed, a most important friend at that. Oh, God. Oh! Girl, I'm watching too many gay shit, like, lately. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm just, my brain, you know me, all my Sims are gay, like, whatever. And now he's like, a very important friend. Oh! This is why we need the Sholmes and Watson triangle date, because you're like, am I in the way of you two? I'm just saying. What the hell? Okay. Smiling apologetically, Sholmes turns and moves to walk off towards his companion, but leaves me with one last bon mot before doing so. I'm just throwing out, I'm making fake French words. In the course of my profession, I've come to know both criminal and victim well, and today, your expression strikes me as more victim than thief. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? Your face is as a lost cast, the look of someone who has had something of great import stolen from him. Sholmes chuckles dryly, pointing his finger directly at me. A typical victim might enlist the aid of a detective to regain this precious thing, but that isn't quite your style, is it? Sholmes finally walks away. Without looking back, however. Where's the sport in being the world's greatest detective without a grand thief to pursue, and only another victim? Whatever decision you make, I shall be following your exploits with great interest. Huh! Follow my exploits with great interest, will you? Watching the great detective melt into the crowd, I resentfully spat back his words. Frankly, it was all I could do with them. Why? Because he had arrived at the truth of it, no matter how much his manner rubbed me the wrong way. Well, there's my answer. It's because she's not here. Her mere absence makes me this anxious. It really does feel like the most precious thing to me has been stolen. How pathetic! How miserable!
To be admonished by Sholmes, my arch nemesis. Elegant gentleman thief indeed. Ugh! Damn it all! And the more I understand this, the more I piss myself off. Demurely sending a letter and sitting around waiting for a reply. That's a gentleman thief I do not recognize. I stare at my hands. These hands. With these hands I stole her away. The beautiful girl who believed she was a monster. Of course, she never was a monster. Only a girl I let slip through my fingers to walk her own path. But that was the past. And no longer is she the key to some unspeakable terror. And no longer does she have to face life as the monstrous bearer of a deadly poison. And now, for completely different reasons entirely, I'm just going to have to steal her back. I still can't fathom why Spacey hasn't replied to my letters, but whatever her reasons may be, how could the world's greatest thief possibly shirk away from reclaiming the finest prize he had ever won? I'm making this my second chance. And that day, that terrible day, seeing her off to Wales, unable to stop her. I'll not let that happen again. Wait for me, Spacey!
So wait, did they steal Lupin's letter and they were like, wait. And they're like, but Spacey's not coming because and they're like, no. They were like, look, Spacey, FYI, you're invited, but we're going to make Lupin come after your ass. Like, I thought they were like, ha, we're not going to tell him she's coming. And we're like, no. Oh, sure, I'll post this letter for you. Throw it in the fireplace. What? No, I put it in the mail. Didn't you? Oh, you got another one? I'll put that one in the fireplace, too. I mean, I said mail. I didn't say fireplace. What the fuck are you talking about? Nah. I'll stab you. If you even look in the fireplace right now, I will stab you. Because you know it's Saint Germain. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this part up here, and we'll get to be in Spacey in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.